Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is RIKA Life. If you made your way here, thank you so much for watching my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe and get ready to see all of the yarny goodness. Here are some of the things that I've made. I have mandalas, wall hangings, pillows, all sorts of things, and of course I love making baby blankets, and I love donating hats and blankets to cancer patients and to babies in the NICU. So today I am still working on my baby boy blanket with the mandala yarn. This is the color Kraken, and I'm holding one strand of this along with one strand of Big Twist in white, Big Twist Value in white. So that blanket is coming along. This is my second cake that I'm working on, and I want to say that I am likely 3/4 of the way through. I'll show you what it looks like so far. Let me just tie it off so it doesn't come undone. But I'm actually quite liking the color changes. So, whoops, where's my hook? Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. This is the bottom. It started with like a darker blue, and then the color is already repeating. So this kind of lime, I don't know what kind of green this is. It looks yellow on here, but it's actually a green, is starting to repeat up here. So it's coming out really nice. And it is wide enough. It's just, I feel like it's not tall enough. So I'm likely going to do, I want to say maybe 4 to 5 more rows. I feel like in 4 to 5 more rows it'll be, it's pretty much like a rectangle right now, but I want to say in 4 to 5 rows it'll be more of a square, and I think I will be happy with it then. So I'm not sure how much more of the yarn I'm going to use, but I'm going to try my best to save some of the yarn so that I can make a matching hat with it, and maybe even mitts. I don't usually do that, but I was thinking for this one, because the colors are so different, like it's all on one cake, I was thinking that I'll just make a matching hat with it, at least a hat. Maybe that's something I should do going forward, is when I'm making a baby blanket, just make a matching hat and mitts. That might be nice. Just a thought, just an idea. I wonder if any of you do that. If you do, let me know in the comments if that's something you do when you make baby blankets. Do you make like a whole matching set? I would love to know. So I'm going to share with you some fun things that have been going on. So my husband was asking me for a couple of hats for the cancer patients, so I gave him about 3 hats. I have a large, what is it called? I don't even know if it's a Ziploc bag. It's like this giant bag, like this big, and it's pretty much full with hats. And I've had it in my yarn closet, and I told him I have hats, and so I gave him a couple. And he was sharing some stories with me and with our family that the patients who received those hats were just so happy. One of the patients, he said, she put on the hat and then she was just like in bliss. She was, of course, undergoing her treatment, but she was so content after that. Another patient, my husband said, once he gave her a hat, her whole like demeanor changed, and she was very like upset and very cranky and just didn't want to be there. And as soon as he gave her the hat, everything changed, and she was like happy and smiling and nicer to be around. So it's just incredible to me. I mean, I just sit and make these hats, and I, pray over them, and it's my little way of giving back to the world. And it's just so humbling to hear the stories of how the patients react and what that signifies to them. One of the patients was like recalling her earlier memories and saying that she remembered when her grandmother had made her a blanket when she was small, and this is like the only other thing that someone's ever handmade for her. So yeah, so now I'm going to be giving him that huge bag of hats, and I think he might just keep it in his office. I'm not sure, but whenever they need one for the patients, he's just going to pull it out and give it. And I want to say in that bag, I want to say there's at least 40 or so hats. And I will be making more. So that's something that's going to be happening. I'm going to be making more hats, and they'll all be going out to the patients, and that just makes me so happy. So I wanted to share that with all of you. Also, on another note, my son's school is doing a fall festival in October, and they were looking for vendors to sign up. So I've given my name, and I am going to be making different things for the little kids. So they're not expecting that many people, and so it's kind of like a very low stress event. And I am going to be making keychains for the kids. So I have a bunch of patterns I've written down. I'm going to be making these little flowers. They have faces on them, and you see all the petals. I'm going to be making footballs. I'm going to be making donuts. I might make hearts. I might make dinos. What else was on the list? There were 5 or 6 things on the list. And so I started making the flowers. And so I made my first one. I've made it before, that pattern, but it's my first one that I've made in a long time. So I also, I think my stand is right behind me here. Yeah, so my stand is up there. You can see the flowers there. It's far. But this is a stand I have, and I'm planning to hang all the keychains on there. And it's just a very low stress event, so I feel like it's a good, like a soft opening, as they say. It's just a way for me to gauge whether or not people are into these things, whether these are in fact impulse buys, and if it catches the kids' eyes. The footballs that I saw, I was like, it's football season right now. All the moms and dads are into football right now. So that's why I thought of making those into keychains. So I just went on Amazon and I bought a set of keychains. It's nothing very complicated, but I bought it and I made it work. I just needed a set of pliers to close off one of the rings, and I made that work. So that's one project I'm going to be working on. So that festival is like on October 25th. I don't know if I just mentioned that, but that gives me about a month to get ready for that. So I'm going to see how many items I can make. I want to try and make at least, 5 of each item, maybe even more. If I could make 10 of each item and have like 50 items with me. And I'm not planning to price them very high. They're keychains, so I'm literally going to just price them at like $5. And I just want to see what happens. So it's kind of like a test market for me. The only other market that I'm going to sign up for is one in November, and that's just within my community. And for that, I might be doing hats and doing like a buy one hat gets donated to charity. Or if these little toy things do well, these amigurumis, then I might also include that. So that's yet to be seen, but I just want to let you know there's a lot of crocheting happening over here behind the scenes. And I know that I only connect with you through my videos about twice a week, but there's lots happening behind the scenes. So if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe, and you can go over to my community tab. And I've been posting on there pretty regularly. I try to post something almost every day. And it's kind of just a behind the scenes, and you can see what's happening in my world. So I definitely suggest for you to follow that as well. And yes, thank you all for your emails. Someone emailed me about the beaded purse tutorial that I had, and we were just kind of going back and forth and talking about the techniques for that, on how to get the beads to be straight versus slanted. So I thought I'd just mention that for anyone else who is interested. What I realized when I watched other tutorials for beaded items and when I tried it myself is that if you pre-string the beads, so you put the beads onto your string in advance and you just use one hook size, then your beads will be slanted. If you don't pre-string them, so you put the beads on as you're going along, and you switch hook sizes, use a smaller hook size to put the bead on, then your bead will lay flat, will be straight. So that's what I realized. I'm just putting that out there in case anyone else had that question. So yeah, that tutorial is linked, and all my tutorials are linked at the bottom of every video. So just right underneath this video, if you click on more, you'll see a description box and you'll see links to all my tutorials that are here on YouTube. I also do have written patterns, not for every single tutorial, but for the more complicated ones, I have patterns on Ravelry that are available there. So just a little reminder for you on that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the hats being donated. I'm excited to be making things for the fall festival, and then figuring out what to make for the November community event that we have. And yeah, I'm just taking things one day at a time, you know. I'm trying to, I guess you could say, go with the flow instead of trying to like force things. And so that's been working out okay. And if you're wondering what stitch I'm using here, this is a V cluster stitch, and there is a pattern for this by Naztazia. I think it's called V cluster stitch crochet, and you can just type in her name, Naztazia, Naztazia. She's on YouTube, and it's a very like short 3-minute tutorial on how to do this. And this is what the V cluster stitch looks like. So because I'm holding a white strand with the colored strand, it's giving like this stone washed look. At least that's what I think. And I'm really enjoying it. This is like my 4th or 5th or 6th blanket like this. I have made now, this is the second baby blanket, second boy baby blanket. And then I have another one like this in girly colors. And I'll likely be making more. So Big Twist Value had gone on sale a little while ago. I mean, it's been on sale for a long time, but at the lowest price, which was I think like $2.50 a ball or something. And when it went down to that price, I bought like 6 to 10 balls of Big Twist in white, which is this color right here, Big Twist White. And I'm working through them. So I have them in my yarn closet, and they are slowly going down in number because I've been using them. So I'm really glad that I bought them when I did, and it's been working out really wonderful with these mandala yarns, because I feel like the mandala yarns are really, really great. They're just a 3-weight, and that sometimes a 3-weight to me feels very thin. So I'm enjoying being able to hold 2 strands together and to be able to do it in this way. So yeah. I had told you that my friend visited me last week, and I did show her my yarn closet. I just opened it for a second, and she was like, "Oh, Chandrika, you have so much yarn." And I was like, "Yep." But you know, I'm using the yarn, and I'm donating things, and I'm making things for sale, so it's all good. And you know, this is my collection, right? People have different types of collections. The yarn is my collection, and it's something that I do use as well, so it's okay. There's nothing to feel bad about, nothing to feel guilty about. Just feel joy and happiness at all the colors that are there. Honestly, that's what gets me every time, is the colors of the yarn. It's not even, I mean, texture I feel like is sometimes secondary, the feel of the yarn. But the primary thing that always gets me is the colors. Even all this mandala gradient yarn that I bought here when it was on sale for $4.99 a ball, that was all color based. That was like me looking at the gradient and just being like, I need this color, and I need this color, and I need this color, and I ended up buying like 7 colors. I still have to try the Premier gradient yarn. Have not tried that yet. That's on my to-do list. But now I just bought so much of the line brand gradient yarn. So that will also happen in due time. Just to let you know, I do have an affiliate link for Premier Yarns, which I will include now in every video. So it's down below this video. The link is there. And if you buy anything through that, then you don't have to pay anything extra, but I just get a little kickback from that. So that helps me to run the channel and to buy yarn and to do all the wonderful things that I like to do with crocheting. So just reminding you of that. And yeah, I hope you had a really, really wonderful weekend. The weekend for me, I'm recording this while it's still the weekend, but the weekend for me has been filled with family time and movie marathons and just, oh my gosh, we watch Bollywood movies, which are like Hindi movies from India, and we watched one. It was kind of like very, very silly and just, finished it. And then I came across another one. I put it on and I was just like laughing my head off. There were some scenes that were just, it was like comedy and I was just laughing, and it was such a refreshing thing to sit and watch something and just laugh. It felt so nice to just laugh and to be caught up in the silliness of the dialogue and the scene, and that just made me so happy. So I'm looking forward to finishing that movie. I only watched about half of it, but I wouldn't say it was like a great movie. It's going okay, but it was just that some of the scenes were so funny. And I think my husband was looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And I was just laughing my head off. I was like, "This is hilarious." So I'm looking forward to watching the rest of that. And yeah, that was really, really fun to watch. My kids are slowly learning Hindi. My daughter can understand most of it. And I feel like for my son, he picks up more on the body language than the actual words. But it's so funny that sometimes my husband and I will say things in Hindi to each other. And my daughter's like, "Why are you speaking in Hindi? I can understand you. I know what you're saying." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to hide anything. I just unintentionally started speaking in Hindi." And she's so funny. Anytime we speak in Hindi now, she's like, "I know what you're saying." And I'm like, "Okay." So we do try to talk in code sometimes when we don't want them to understand, but these kids, I tell you, they're too smart. They've picked it up on their own. Like, we never made a conscious effort to try and teach it to them, but they've been surrounded by it since they've been born, and they just understand it. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments what you worked on today while you are watching this video. I would love to know what you're making, and I cannot believe that September is almost finished. So let me know what you're making in the fall, if it's fall where you are or not. But let me know what you're making this September. I would love to know. Feel free to send me pictures of your work. My email is linked down below, rikalife11@gmail.com. Send me an email with what you're making. I love seeing your projects. It's so much fun. Because right now this is kind of one way. I show you my projects, but I like seeing your projects too. So definitely do that. All right, so thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.